This is Lee with 82 Game of 12 here on YouTube channel Sons of Liberty 75. This will be another video of Glory and Empire First Victories, Lock and Load Publishing, designed by Terry Doherty. We are in the 11:40 a.m. turn. The last video, the British completed their phase, so now we move to the French. And before we get started, I just want to mention a couple of books here. We've got three really excellent books having to do with somewhat with the game that we're playing. We've got Wellington's Army, 1809 to 1814, Sir Charles Oman. The publisher, Green Hill Books. So you should be able to find that pretty easily. We've got Richard Holmes' Redcoat, the British Soldier in the Age of Horse and Musket. And of course, he's endorsed by Bernard Cornwell. That's the author of that created Sharp. So, and the publisher here, Norton. So, and then if you're a Peninsula War fanatic, then this book here you really need to have. David Gates, The Spanish Ulcer, A History of the Peninsular War. This is a really good book. Covers the entire war. And so it's got some things that have been updated with new discoveries on documents and different resources and so forth. So this is a book that if you really enjoy reading about the history of the Peninsular War and the fighting between Wellington's British misfits and the French marshals that were sent by Napoleon to control and dominate the peninsula, well, then you need that book. And the publisher is De Capo Press. So you can look those up on Google or Amazon and find those. So, all right, so let's get right to the game here. We've got several commanders that have orders. We've got an attack order here with Charlot. And Lasson doesn't have an order. Charlot has the order to attack. But looking at his units here, he's probably not going to be able to do too much attacking. This out of order marker here shouldn't, well, yeah, it is. That's Solinac's unit there. So yes, he is out of order. Kellerman doesn't have orders, but he's going to be looking to try to move to a position to take advantage of maybe a weak spot. He doesn't have a very large group here. But the units are strong. They're grenadiers. So They have multiple steps. So these units have like 4 steps, all of them. The other units, they've got only 2 steps, the front and the back. So they're pretty strong units. So who knows, going to want to use Kellerman with some discretion. Try to fix that just a little bit there. And then the only other order we have is going to be with the cavalry on the French right here. Slam, who is replacing Margaron, who was killed or severely wounded, one or the other. So that's what we're looking at. And let's see, over here we've got Theron, and he's still going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. He's still within order of Salam, but they are disordered. So we'll find out if they can regain some order. So the first thing we do is we've got recovery segment, which is going to be the rally phase. So let's see if we can rally some of these units. So we're going to start over here. And they're disorganized. And they're also spent. Okay, so they've got a 35, and they're going to have a -5 to the die roll. Rolled a 4, so no, they're not gonna get recover. But I'm going to go ahead and remove this because the next phase is cavalry recovery phase, and while I'm doing this, I might as well remove the spent marker. So I'm kind of combining the 2 phases together. All right, here, Theron is going to be able to add 2. We got a -5, so it'll be a -3. 58, okay, so they're no longer disordered, disrupted, disorganized. Okay. All right, then we move along. We've got some units right here. I'm going to move this spent marker. And they have a leader, aide de camp. Baniers. Okay, so they've got a +2, -5. I rolled a 10. So they stay disrupted, disorganized. Okay, we'll go right here. Weiss. So again, that's a -3. Okay, 49 -3, they're going to pass. So they're no longer. Let's take a look here. Keep saying disorder. You know, disorder. Different games call it different things. Disorganized, disrupted. Okay, we'll remove that spent marker. So this unit here, -5, rolled an 83, so they recover. And they've taken a loss. These units that are spent, they're not going to be able to charge or anything like that when they're still spent. Okay, so -5, 21, they're going to stay disrupted, disordered. Okay, let's, this one here can't because they're in the zone of control. Okay, we've got a broken unit. Okay, so that's a minus 15 on that one. Six. So they're going to route, and let's see, they're going to move. 3. Okay. Pretty sure they just moved 3 away. Maybe it's 6, but I think it's 3. Let's see. Yeah, 3. Retreat 3. And then if they're routed and they fail, they're just eliminated. They just throw their stuff down and they're gone. So. Okay, let's see. Okay. That unit there is in the zone of control here. This unit here, he can check. I rolled up, and I'm not rolling very good. I rolled a 14. That's pretty bad. Okay, now we move back here to this unit. Six. Wow. So, there that is. Okay. Okay, now he's in a zone of control. Well, let's see. I got a routed unit here. I need to roll for. Huno actually jumped back here. So instead of a -20, it's going to be a -10 because Huno gets to use his morale factor there. I rolled a 71, -10 becomes a 61. So they're going to recover. And when they recover, okay, on this chart, okay, you go up. You're not going back to the broken, but you're going up to shaken. So instead of being broken, I'm going to flip them around here. Put them this way. They're just shaken now. So that was a good move to, well, they would have passed anyways with the die roll, but it would have been close. So it's better to be safe about that. Okay, I already rolled for that one. Okay, now we have to go over here, and I got to check about the skirmishers. I want to check there about the skirmishers, about zone of control. So and about whether or not a skirmisher is projecting a zone of control. Well, I guess they do. If you want to know where I'm getting this at, move this over here. Let me pull back. Okay, right here. This is page 71. Okay, and this is the rule book. Okay, core rules. Okay, right here it tells us, you know, that the following never exert a zone of control: limbered artillery, units in road column, units that are broken or routed in the broken or rout morale states and leaders. So that means that our skirmishers do. So that keeps those units from being able to recover, to rally. Terminology from one game to another. So this unit here, because they're in this zone of control of this SCD unit, they cannot roll. Okay, so we move to this unit, who's shaken. So that's -10. I rolled a 15. Now this is just I don't believe they have to go to broken just during the rally phase. If you're just rolling the rally, if they're rolling for morale, that's different. So they're just going to stay shaken. Okay, the next unit that's shaken, right there. Rolled a 36. So no, they do not recover either. So we go back here with -5. And I rolled a 3. Okay. This unit that's out of command. -47 -5 is 42, so they recover. And I can actually put this right here. This one here has disordered, so I got to roll for them. Okay, Charlot +3 -5 is a -2. 31. Ooh, nope, they do not recover. Okay. We move over here. These units here cannot recover or rally. Back here, we've got this broken unit. Okay. 50. Okay, so they're going to rout. 1, 2, 3. And then this one is broken. The zone is with that one. So plus 5 minus 15 is minus 10. I rolled an 80. All right, so they are going to go to shaken. Turn around. Shaken. Oops. Let's put the song back on there. All right, so then you have the cavalry recovery, which I've already done. We have the artillery resupply. So this unit here is low ammo, but I've got some French units over here that are out of ammo, and they want to roll to see if they can resupply. So they've got to be on a road or trail. So both of these units there, that's these two, are on that trail. So resupply, I believe they've got to get an 8 or a 9. Is that like a... I guess it's a brigade rule that I'm using. No. Where did I find that? Where did I find that rule? Well, on this chart it's showing it is a 3-1. Maybe it was in this module or something. Where did I get that you needed an 8 or a 9? Maybe somebody can help me there with that. Well, I don't see it. It's got to be in the rules here at the start or something. Let's see where it talks. It's got to talk about it somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about trying to find it. They've got to roll an 8 or a 9. So, okay. Okay, we'll go with this one first. A 9. Okay, so they're resupplied. Okay, the next one there, a 9. Okay, so they're both resupplied. Roll 2 9s. Okay. And then this unit here, what do they roll? A 2, so they're still out of ammo. I think that's the only one. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Let's pull back a little bit. Next is the fire segment. So now we're going to go across the battle here, firing the French muskets and artillery, and then we'll have the British artillery fire segment, the non-facing players artillery. So that's what we have coming up next. Let's start right here. Get that a little closer. So, right here is this organized unit. Firing straight ahead at this one. So it's just going to be a 0. '81. That'll be a morale check. So this unit here has to do a morale check. And he rolled a 4. So he becomes shaken, which means he's got to retreat a hex. And we'll go to there. Okay. Then here, it's going to fire right there. Now he's shaken. We have, yeah, I can put a shaken marker on him. Take this thing off. So that'll be -1, and he's only got a fire strength of 1. So he'll be at a 0 as well. 64 is not enough. All right. Okay, so let's move back here to this artillery unit. Who, let's see here. He's turned like that. He wants to fire at this right here. They're in the open. So he's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got a strength of 4. and they're in line. So it's not going to be any negative modifiers. So strength of 4. I could use a high roll here. Ooh, an 83. Okay, so that's going to be a morale check minus 10. Okay. And their morale check was a 51. Minus 10 becomes a 41, so they passed. Okay. And he's still low ammo. Because he rolled so high, he's not going to be no ammo. All right, let's move around here. Okay, so we got a skirmisher here. He's got this shaken unit he's going to fire at. It's going to be 0. Actually, it's going to be below 0. Ooh, we rolled an 80, an 89. Okay, 80, yeah, 89. Oh, well, that's going to be a morale check. And they rolled a 40. Let's see what happens here. I think he's gonna break. Yeah, because it becomes minus 10 is a 31. So they are going to break, which means they're going to run right through these guys and cause them to have to do a morale check. So 1, 2, 3. Now these guys have to do a morale check. And they're at minus 10. And I rolled an 11, so they are now going to break. So the skirmisher's gone. And they, 1, 2, 3. So there's a hole that's been opened up right there. All right. So we don't have any other, let's see. Well, we do have this artillery unit here, but, well, he's below. Let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, he can fire at him. Okay. So this artillery unit here is going to fire right here at this unit with this skirmisher and Anstruther. Now, let's see. I'm trying to think, which way is he facing? I guess he'd be facing this way. He got turned a little bit. Okay. So range is 1, 2, 3, 4. Strength of 2. The skirmisher's minus 1, and then he's in that terrain scrub, so that's minus 1. So we got it to 0. $25 is not enough. So No effect there. Um, plus he's disordered. Okay, so this unit here is going to fire with their skirmishers, -1. So they're going to be at a 0 firing into here. Ooh, rolled a 99. That's going to be a morale -15. Right there. So, and the morale roll was a 49 +4. So it becomes okay, so it's only -11. Okay, so 38. So yeah, they're going to be disordered. Okay. And then this unit here is firing against this SED unit, which is going to be a 0. 52 is going to be no effect. Okay. And then we have this SCD unit over here. This one is going to fire right there. Okay. And their SCD strength is 2. So target, it's not in its flank, so it's going to be -2, so it's going to be a 0. No effect. Okay. All right. Next, we have this artillery unit that is on this higher ground. Yeah, you can hit him. It's not really going to be in his flank, though. So it's going to be a 0 strength. $51, no effect. Okay. All right, so let's move around. We've got this unit here. There's a skirmisher who's going to be firing at the strength of 0 right there. An 8, no effect. Then we have this unit here firing here, and he's going to have a strength of 0. 30, no effect. This unit will fire there. He'll have a 0. 82. It's going to be a morale check, and the morale check was a 4. So this unit now becomes shaken and has to move back. So he's going to actually go back to this guy. Go back. He'll go back here, flip over. Wait a minute. Yeah, flip over. Be behind this guy. But they're shaking now. Okay. Let's see here. Nobody. And then way over here, we've got this one unit here that's disordered. It's got a skirmisher. And those guys there are shaking. He's going to fire at this guy that's not shaking. Be a 0. 58's not going to do anything. Okay. All right, so that's all of the French firing. Okay. Now we go to the British artillery. So for the British, we've got this artillery unit right there. And they are actually going to turn. Let's see. They're facing that way. So if they turn, they just can turn 30 degrees. And that is not going to get either one of these units within range, because we turn here and we set this down. Well, he could fire. He can't fire at this unit here, just not this one. So, okay, so this artillery could fire right here. I think he will, because it's going to be, let's see, it's going to be 3. Let's see, canister. Let's see, that is a white. No, it's not going to be canister. It's just going to be effective. But still, and still, it's not going to be in the flank. But still, it's going to be 2. They don't have a skirmisher. So that'll be a strength of 2. 30 is not enough. Okay. It's not a low ammo either, though. Okay, next. We go back to this artillery unit here, who's on a hill. There's a hill right up underneath there. Okay, you see that little circle there, little brown or darker tan circle? That's where that artillery is. That's one of the Vimeiro hills. Famous hills that for the battle, famous. And they're going to fire here at this guy right here, I guess. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Strength of 2. They're shaken. And in column, so that becomes a 3. So, oh, they rolled a 1, which means they will now get a low ammo marker. Okay. All right. The next one will be this artillery unit right here. And they are not on a hill, So I think, yeah, that guy's blocking their, he's blocking their, yeah, he can't fire. Unless he was firing up to say these guys, but he's still firing over those guys. I don't think they can do that. Okay, so I think that's all. That would be firing over the top of his own units. I don't think that would work. Even if you're firing at a higher elevation, those units are too close, in my opinion. So that's all of the non-phasing artillery segment. Then we move to movement and tack order phase. Command status phase, and then movement. So we've got to check to see that units that have attack orders are within range to be able to carry out those orders. So for example, these two units over there, they're both out of command. Both of these guys. So but attack orders, we have attack orders right here. So that basically you want to do your attack orders first, and then you do your non-attack, non-order units move. I don't think it really matters. So, and Charlot, he's got there's a hole opened up there, but he doesn't have units to stick in there. You know, they could scoot up. They're going to run risk of being fired on from these units that have, he's got to be turned like that. Skirmishers out. Of course, they have their own skirmishers. They're okay. So this guy can throw out a skirmisher. This guy's already got one. He's shaking, though. He's shaking. So, okay, I need to create some space for Kellerman to come through here. So now these units that are out of command, they're kind of limited in one thing. They can only move half their normal movement. So okay, we could engage. We could. So there's not a. We're going to get fired on. Okay, we'd have to go. Okay, we'll start off by moving this guy up to engage this guy. So these skirmishers here, which they can only attack out of the front hexes though. So this guy here, These guys are turned that way. So yeah, their zone is at the front, the way they're facing. So this unit can actually move into here. And so he's going to do that. This guy here is disordered and he doesn't have any skirmishers out. Oh, he's a, oh no, he's a SED. So, but that's still an opportunity. Okay, so he's going to move here, right there, this unit. This is an SCD, so he's got with rifles, so his range is 3. 1, 2, 3, so he can fire right there, and he's going to. So his strength is 3, but -1 for being disordered. There's going to be another -1 for the skirmisher. There's a skirmisher. With this unit. So he's at now 1, but then there's +1 for the target being, this is the target here, right there, being in column 26. So 26 is not going to be enough. All right, so the firing there is done. So that was 1, okay, and he moves to here. He's not in the zone of control of that skirmisher or that infantry unit. Their zone of control is in their front axis. So the scrub cost 2. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then 3. 4. Right there. Of course, this skirmisher couldn't keep firing. He can only fire once at a unit. So now he has a unit in his front facing. He can't fire again, which now allows this unit to move up 1, and then 2, 3, right in there. This unit, if he moves into here, this unit has to fire, or he can't fire. So let's go ahead and move up there, and he fires. So it's going to be, he has a skirmisher. He has a skirmisher. So that's 0. -1 for being disordered. +1 for being in column. So that's flat out 0. 52 is not going to do anything. Okay. So he's okay, so those guys are still within his but Charlot wants to move up, and I'm going to prolong, let's see, he's going to move up with this guy. I want to prolong this artillery unit to here. All right. Okay, so those guys have moved already. Now we want to move over to cavalry units over here that have attack orders. Okay. All right, so this unit here is actually out of command. His leader's way over here. So he's going to have to move to get back in command. And we've got some units in here. Well, he's in square. What is that terrain? What is it, like a ridge or something? It's a military crest, okay. Okay, it doesn't really do anything. I guess it's just for maybe fixed line of sight. All right, so this cavalry unit is going to move here. That's down the slope. Let's get over there where they're at. We're right there with the Ron. Okay, contra line. Cavalry's +2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and he turns 5. And then he's going to declare a charge. Okay. So 3 hexes away, this British unit can attempt to go to square. Okay. Now, we'll have to pass a morale check. Okay, there's 3 hexes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's going to be a plus or minus 0. He rolled a 30. So, if the modified result is less than or equal to the morale value of the top combat unit, the stack fails. And it's equal to. So they are not able to go to square. They're just disordered. All right, so that's going to be a prime attack for that unit. Let's see here. Where's my... There we go. All right. Now this unit here is going to turn and come back this way to where he's at. We're going to actually go to here. So he's just going to move to here and turn like so. Ron's going to join him right there. Well, I guess he could turn like this. Okay. So, Baggineris is going to slide over here. Weiss. This guy here is not, he is not morale shaken or anything, so he's going to move through this unit. 1, 2, so he goes to right there and declares a charge. Okay. All right, so he's not going to be able to change. This guy here could attempt to change. This guy here is already in square. Bathurst. No, I think you have to be in, I don't think you can't go to, if you're shaken or disordered, you can't go to, you can't try to go to square. Okay. All right, so Islam is going to allow this unit here to move through here. He's going to go to right there. And he's going to go to charge. And then this volunteer light cavalry going to move right there with the leader. Okay. Then this one here that's out of order, it's going to turn. Since he's out of order, what is he? Battle cavalry? Yeah. He can only move 6. So, I don't think changing facing. Yeah, you can change facing anytime. Doesn't cost any points. Okay, so he's going to turn. To go up, that's 1, 2 plus. Okay, it's a plus 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. He goes to there. Now he's within range of his leader. Okay. All right, so now we can move any of these other units that we want, infantry-wise, that don't have any kind of attack orders. Also, I didn't put any assault markers on any of these guys. I just moved them up. Talking about these guys with Charlot. I should have, but I didn't. So, it's just our leader here. He's going to move to there. This guy, 1, 2, and then when he moves into here, this unit here can fire. Well, no, he can't because his front hexes are here and here. So this guy is in this guy's zone, so he's not going to fire. We got over here. He's out of order. This unit here. His leader's way over here. Wait a minute. He can't move into there. He'd have to stop right there. He doesn't have attack orders, so the only way he could move in there, he'd have to roll. Morale check. So I don't want to move him in there like that. And this guy here has got to get closer. Delaborte needs to get in here closer. He's got a range of 4. So, yeah. He got to move up at least 1. So, let's see this minor stream here. Stream is +2, and it's he's going to have to roll for morale check. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Morale check time. He rolled a 48. He passed. Okay. That'll allow Delaborte to move up. And I'll be within range there. One. Two, 3. So when he moves into there, he's going to get fired on by quite a few guys. This guy here. That's this unit here. Okay. So he's got a skirmisher, but he's got SED. That's -2. So he's going to be at a 0. 38's no effect. Okay. This guy here will fire. Same thing. 0. You say, well, how did you get to 0? Okay, first off, the skirmisher only got a strength of 1, and he's shaken, so that's a 0 right there. And then you have a -2 right there. Even though he's in column, that become a -1, but it doesn't go to -1. 62, no effect. Okay. Then we have, here we have this artillery, and I believe this one here I've assigned to the cavalry. Take care of those squares. So, French artillery, movement of 7, and it's a +1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And can you go over that string? No. There's not a, geez, can't go across that string. You have to go way back here. That's a big obstacle right there. So if I pull back, way back, you can see all the way here, they didn't have any way to get across. There's no bridge except way back down here. It's a long way to go. So I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess they're just gonna have to move in here. Flip him over. Well, I flipped him over, but I don't think he's lost any. Maybe he has, but he is limbered, so I gotta put a limber marker on him. Okay, this other one here is just gonna move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there. So who knows, going to move over to this routed unit. This unit is going to move up toward the leader. So 1, 2, 3, move to there. Okay. All right, now Kellerman, he wants to move over in here. Can move this out of the way. All right, so scrub is 2. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to leave a space for people to come through. 1, 2, and he's going to go right there. I can remove this. Put it back there. Over here, I want to try to save this guy back here. So Lassonde will move back there. This artillery unit, this unit here is shaken. I can throw out an SCD though. And move up. 1, 2. Right there. And here we can prolong to here. And back over here, this artillery unit can prolong to right there. Okay. All right, now I did not designate any assaults, so we do have quite a few, well, 3 charges, but those will have to wait. So stop right there. This this is a very good game. Tactical wise, with a good balance between the three arms: the infantry, the cavalry, and the artillery. I don't think that there's one arm that's too powerful. I think there's a good balance. Um, the skirmisher mechanics I have mentioned before is really a highlight, because Terry Doherty has done a very good job in creating the right feel for skirmishers. They're not too powerful, but yet they do make an impact. It's not so easy to approach your opponent when he's got skirmishers thrown out, and so you've got to throw out your own skirmishers, and so there's that back and forth of the skirmishers firing as you're trying to get close. And there is recorded evidence that the French were really in the dark about what they were facing, because the British had thrown out so many skirmishers. Wellesley, or later Wellington, liked to throw out a heavy screen of skirmishers, and of course, with the rifled skirmishers, they could cause disruption from further away. And the French commanders thought that they were actually fighting the front line of the British forces, when in actuality they're just trying to make their way through the skirmish screen. And then they were surprised when they got past the skirmishers that there's a wall of red facing them. A thin wall, but still a wall of murderous fire. So I think this game does an excellent job in providing a gamer the historical flavor of combat. And if you're a Napoleonic tactical gamer, then this is something you need to take a good hard look at. And I know the Peninsula War is not the more favorite for most Napoleonic fans. It is for me, and I'm glad that Glowing Empire is focusing on the Peninsula battles instead of rehashing battles that have so many games. There's not very many Vimeiro games. And Rhodesia, there's not maybe a 2 or 3 of Rhodesia that, but Vimeiro, I can think of only really one, and that was the Gamers. Had their Talavera and Vimeiro combo game, which was titled Talavera, but you had the Vimeiro game in the box, of which I have. And this is a much better game. It looks better. The mechanics are so much better. The orders, all of it. It's just a much better game. So, all right, well, come on back, see what happens. We've got the charges that are going to be taking part, and it could be that we look over here at this specific charge here on the far right of the French with this battle cavalry up against this disrupted British unit who wasn't able to get into square. So see what happens there. Plus we've got these charges that are going to take place right here against these units that Vimeiro, his brigade's engaging. And so the only thing we're lacking over there is some artillery to blast away at all those squares. But we're going to have a hard time getting any artillery over there because of that stream. It's a big obstacle. In actuality, I've already discussed this. There was a deep ravine through here that really caused the French to really march wide around. And it's, be in this area here. I've already talked about that in another video. So, but that stream is going to limit, well, it's going to stop any artillery getting over to that side of the battle. The only way to get them over there is to march them all the way up here around this and then march them back. And you don't have a road that's really going to benefit you except for this one here. Once you get all the way up here, it's going to take quite a few turns just to get up here. And then, and then you're still going to have to, I guess you can use that road all the way down here and then cut across. Let's see what we got here. Well, you can use the road there to get over to here and then down. But there's no, well, no, right here where this road is. We can just march up here, cut across right here. So yeah, we can do that. I don't know why I didn't do that. Where's that artillery unit at? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so it was here. So I should have went 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7. Should have went right there to get up to here and then cut in through. I don't know why I wasn't paying attention to I was looking for bridges, I guess. So, yeah, I don't see, there's not any fords in here. So that's where they've got to go. They're going to have to go over here to Toledo and then down. So, okay. That's not as bad. So, but it's still going to take a few turns to get over there. So come on back, see what happens with the chart.